Good morning, students of class 5. Today we will be doing compare the fractions without finding their LCM first. Exercise 3, page number 70. Before doing that, let me tell you the meaning of compare, how to compare. Okay, as you can see here, the word compare. When you see compare in mathematics, normally two different fractions are given, and how to compare. When you compare it, you need to write either this sign or this sign, or you need to write is equals to. Okay, this is greater than, this is smaller than, this is equals to, this is equal. All right, but how to understand this is greater than, or how to keep in mind this is smaller than, greater than. So always in the school, what I do is I make a picture of a crocodile like this. Okay, I make a picture of crocodile like this, and this crocodile says, I will always eat the bigger number. I will always eat the bigger number. So remember this particular sign. This mouth of the crocodile is always open towards the bigger number. Is always open towards the bigger number. So for example, if I compare two different numbers, suppose 20 and 18, okay, out of this 20 and 18, you know 20 is greater than 18, so the crocodile's mouth will be open towards 20. Okay, this way you can remember. Or if you say there is 5 and there is 15, you know 15 is greater than 5, so crocodile mouth is open towards 15. So this crocodile likes to eat the bigger number. Okay, now keep this in your mind and follow. Now when you do the comparison of the fractions, okay, there are, like, I will show you the example of three different types of fractions. First type of fraction is with the 1 by 2, 1 by 4. You can see in these two fractions the numerators are same, 1 and 1, but the denominators are different. This is one type of fraction. Okay, here is the place where you can write either greater than, smaller than, or equals to. Okay, another type of fraction you have is with maybe 2 by 5 and 3 by 5. 3 by 5. Now you can see in this fraction the numerators are different, but the denominators are same. Okay, now this is another type of fraction. Alright, then you have third type of fraction, in which you have maybe 1 by 2 and maybe 2 by 5. So what you can see here is you have the first fraction 1 by 2 and the second fraction 2 by 5. Both the fractions, in both the fractions, the numerators are different and the denominators are also different. So these are the different three types of fractions in which you have to compare. Okay, so this comparison is very important. There are different methods of doing this, but the best way is, let me tell you. Let us come back to the first one first. Yeah, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4, both the numerators are same. When the numerators are same, listen to this very carefully. Okay, when the numerators are same, then you have to look at the denominators. When the numerators are same, look at the denominators. Here the denominator is 2 and here the denominator is 4. So in a simple sense, which number is greater? 2 is greater or 4 is greater? You all will say 4 is greater. Yes, correct, 4 is greater. But there is a big but. Remember, if the numerators are same and denominators are different, and the denominator that is greater will become smaller. Confused? If the numerators are same, you have to think in a simple way. Okay, if the numerators are same, then you have to look at the denominators, and in the denominators the number that is greater, the number that is larger will become the smaller, you have to think it this way so that it becomes easy for you to understand. So since this number is larger if you compare with this, but I said the larger number becomes the smaller, so the whole thing, this whole thing is smaller than this. So I always said the crocodile mouth will like to eat the bigger number. So since this is the smaller fraction, which is the bigger fraction? This is the bigger fraction. Since this is the bigger fraction, crocodile mouth towards the bigger fraction. Okay, this is 1. Now this is another fraction with the different numerators but the same denominators. Okay, so what this will be slightly different from the previous one. Here the denominators are same. If the denominators are same, you have to look at the numerator. Now again the same question, which number in the numerator, which number is bigger? Answer is 3. So here what you have to think is, since the denominators are same, the bigger number will remain bigger, the smaller number will remain smaller. So there is no changing of the value here. Okay, the bigger number will remain bigger itself, the smaller number will remain smaller when the denominators are same. Okay, so since this is the bigger number, this is the smaller number, so this is smaller number, this is bigger number, so crocodile mouth always towards the bigger number. Okay, now let us look at the last type of fractions in which both the numerators and denominators are different. So here what we will do is, there are like various methods as I said, but the simplest method, I normally use the word Chori method, that I'm going to teach you. Before that, the other method of doing this is get the LCM of these denominators and you do the simple process. Okay, but since this is only comparison, you don't have to show all that process. The clever way of doing this is, always remember the first fraction numerator, this one, first fraction numerator will multiply the second fraction denominator. The first step is the first fraction numerator will multiply the second fraction denominator. So 1 into 5 will remain 5, and this 5 you have to write just below the first fraction. Okay, just below the first fraction, small 5 you write. 1 into 5, 5. Now the numbers left are 2 and 2, so this and this also you multiply. 2 2s are 4. You write this 4 just below the second fraction. Now leave the whole thing, focus on the numbers that you have received after multiplication. This is 5, this is 4. Which number is greater? 5 is greater. Naturally 5 is greater than 4, so crocodile mouth always towards the greater number, so greater number is 5, like this. So if you are going to write like this, here also you are going to write like that. This is what is called the clever way of doing comparison of the fractions with the different denominators and the numerators. Okay, if there is any problem you can call me. So try to solve exercise 1 all and 2 all. Alright, page number 70. Thank you.